Okay.
All righty.
No, you're just hearing him talking.
Check. Cock, penis. All righty. You want to do it or should I?
I think I did it last time, so let's take it on over to you.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the OverToasted podcast. 2 months after our last recording session, we are fucking back in business, bitches. And, yeah, what the fuck is up, America? As always, I'm joined by Larry and our guest today. You want to introduce yourself, man?
Hey, what's up? I'm Dave.
Fuck yeah, he's fucking Dave. Do you, live here or something?
Sometimes.
Oh, sick. I thought it was Larry that lived here sometimes.
It's been both.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's currently living here. This is just a place that,
a medium.
is crashed at.
Can I, crash here? If you guys aren't?
Yeah, I'll give you the key.
Oh, sick. I think I'm about to,
You can just take over my bedroom.
We should just let the fungus take over your bedroom. There's just a fucking clone of there's a fungal clone of Larry living there, like in Metroid Prime 2.
Yeah. The other day when I was taking a shower, it randomly occurred to me, I'm like, he still has that shit growing in there. And I'm like, I don't want to open up this door. There's going to be some fucking creatures from The Last of Us just in there, and I'm just going to oh shit, I'm not prepared for this. I am butt ass naked.
First, you want to put on some clothes.
I'll just hit it with my dick, ha ha ha.
That's probably how things are going to happen, though, when the apocalypse starts.
Dude, if you upgrade your shit in The Last of Us, you can totally knock them out with your dick.
Yeah.
That's the game mechanic.
I downloaded that through the PlayStation Plus games thing. Have yet to play it. I've seen a full walkthrough of it, and I'm like, wow, looks like it's gonna be a really great game to play.
If Jake was here, he'd be on a tangent as to why that's the best game ever. And I've played it. It's really fucking good. You should play it.
I'm not sure if it's true or not, but one of my friends shared an article saying that the second one is going to be delayed again. And if that's true, I'm kind of bummed because then, it's another game that I'm probably never going to play, but watch a playthrough of it and be like, damn, this is a really dope game. But I might, a week before the second one comes out, I might play the first one just so I could know what's going on.
For sure. I mean, I feel like that's a game that you would want the context of the first game.
Yeah.
Having not played it, I don't know. Maybe it's totally different, but the story of the first game was pretty pivotal to the overall experience. So
I already know what everything that happens basically, and
at the end of the game.
Yeah, and I'm like, damn, this shit is bananas.
Yeah,
and then that's kind of one of the reasons why. I haven't played it yet because it's just I already know what's gonna happen.
Okay.
This is some really ASMR shit. Larry touring that. It sounded really pleasing in the ear.
Should give us a good taste of grinding the weed in ASMR.
Shit, sorry.
Damn.
Yes.
Have you played Last of Us, Larry?
No.
I mean, I'm gonna assume the role of Jake and say that you definitely probably should. Our asshole friend.
I haven't been playing video games very much lately, because of recent circumstances.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
I almost died.
I think did you talk about that last time?
No, we completely avoided the topic of somehow the day before our last episode, I was T-boned by a Silverado going 55 miles per hour and came out with just a bruised knee.
Fuck.
Yeah, we not even once. I mean, I think it was just because Nick was here and we were really excited to get to everything about Nick. And I was fine with that. But yeah, my last 2 months, my entire life has been pretty much flipped upside down, including anything and everything from A, having a car to B, not having a car. A, living in my own apartment with my roommate to moving back in with my parents part-time. And then going from day shift, I now work night shift. And so things are getting crazy.
How is night shift treating you?
I squeeze some avocados. Some avocado squeeze me. It's a good time.
Sometimes when you be squeezing that avocado squeeze back. You know what I'm saying?
It gives you the good squeeze.
Get that guacamole.
Get that good guac.
Sometimes the guac walks back.
God damn. I love guacamole. I don't think I'm alone in having that perspective, but it is there. Do you not like guacamole, dude?
Not really.
Really?
No, I didn't like guacamole until I tried the guacamole he made. It's some bomb ass shit while you're high.
Yeah. Also, when you're not high.
Well,
I've
like
never had it when I'm not.
it depends. It depends on. I don't like. This is weird. I don't like it with beef.
Really?
Or like ground beef or steak, but I love it with fucking chicken.
It is. I do like that quite a bit.
Like whenever I go to Qdoba, I like switch it up. Like this week I'll do beef, next week chicken, and like whenever I get it with beef or whenever I get beef, the chick like goes to put guac, and I'm like, no, like the fuck are you doing? You know me. this isn't okay, bro. And
Don't
she's like,
violate
"Oh,
my
sorry."
burrito.
She's like, oh, sorry, I forgot. And I'm like, yeah, you better. I know where you live. I'm kidding. I don't know where she lives.
I know where Qdoba is.
I know where you work. Every Thursday.
Yeah, well, I know where I work too. Now what?
Do you want to make out?
Yeah, let's go.
She leaps over the counter, and then you make out. Shout out Qdoba girl.
Yeah, shout out Qdoba girl. Like, I hope your midterm was really good and you did dope on it. But if not, ha 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 ha, you fucking suck. Your parents hate you.
I hope someday I'm married to a girl whose Instagram handle is Qdoba girl 420.
I wonder if that implies she like works at Qdoba or goes to Qdoba a lot, or both. But either way, she's gonna be high as balls every time she's there.
420, boy.
Those like the stoners that work at like fast food restaurants are the real heroes. Unless
God,
they're
I
like the
really
shitty
wish I
ones.
was a stoner when I worked at Taco Bell because I only ever went into work high once, and that was when we had Mini Bong sitting right there.
Shout out Mini Bong.
Yeah, and we're sitting around the bonfire pit, and Kearney was like, "Yo, have you smoked out of the Mini Bong before?" I was like, "No," but I was like, "I can handle this. I've only smoked weed like twice before," and then I got really ripped, and then went into Taco Bell, and I was like, I have no fucking clue what's going on right now.
The only time I've ever been high while working is when I worked for Satan, Brenda. And fuck you, Brenda. I hope you die. I hope you hear this and die.
Shout out, fuck you, Brenda.
Shout out Brenda.
Everyone hashtag fuck
Brenda.
you, Brenda on Twitter.
Make that shit trend.
It was like I was walking up to the building and one of my coworkers was like, yo, David, yo. And I'm like, what the fuck you want? And then like I look in her car and literally like 7 people are in the back of her like Ford. It's the same kind of car you had.
Fusion.
Yeah. Like 7 people are in that, all smoking. Like 2 people are in the back sitting on each other's lap.
That car sits 5.
Yeah. And
was 7.
they're like sitting on each other's lap and they're like, you want to come in and smoke? And I'm like, I literally can't fit in here. And the person that was in the front passenger seat was like, well, I have to go in right now. Like, I was supposed to be clocked in 15 minutes ago and I'm high as shit. And I'm like, okay, I guess. So he gets out, I get in, and we're all lighting up. And I'm just like, bro, what time does everyone work? And then like 2 of them were like, oh, we were already supposed to clock in too. I'm like, and the 2 people were the one sitting bitch in the back and one of the people that were being sit on. And I'm just like, I don't work for another 30 minutes. I was going to go in and eat, but now I'm high and I don't want to go in and eat because then I'll order too much food.
I know that feeling.
You'll arouse suspicion.
Yeah. I mean, and then like, I also have allergies, so I like constantly would go in with eyes all squinted and red. But then that day, everyone was like, are you all right, Dave? And I'm like, just my allergies, bro. Like, they're cutting grass out there. It's fucking me up. Like, I'm literally dying right now. Meanwhile, in the back of my head is like, please don't ask if I'm high because I will tell you the truth.
Yeah, the only time I've ever went into my place of employment, which shall remain unnamed, The only time I've ever went there high, I'd popped an AVB edible before I went to bed, and I was like, oh, I should be fine. I'll just eat this, have a good night's sleep, wake up, go to work. The next morning, I woke up and I was like, God, I just cannot shake this. I'm so fucking tired. Like, that edible fucked me up. Then I was sitting in the locker room waiting for other people to move out of my way, and someone was like, bro, Larry looks high, and it like hit me like a brick in the face. I was like, fuck, I am stoned as shit.
I haven't.
And I was like, no, I just can't wake up, dude.
I will also say when I worked for Brenda, I would also show up like whenever I was in the back of the house, I would show up drunk sometimes.
Like for your shift or?
Yeah. Like I would show up and just be drunk and they'd be like, oh, David, you look happy. I'm like, fuck yeah, I am. Fucking dumbasses. And there was one time where I got off the bus system thing, and I was like, damn, I fucking work today, and I don't want to. And I walk in, and I go to clock in, and it's like, you are not scheduled to work today. And I was like, fuck. Not only am I drunk, I don't work, and the next bus doesn't come for like an hour and a half. So I literally just sat like at the Walmart that's right by, just walking around Snapchatting myself, like making shitty puns and jokes about products. Or I like walked over to where the TVs and stuff were, and they were playing it's the one movie with the fucking robot.
Wally.
Wally. Yeah, they were playing that, and I'm like, what the fuck? This movie's like 7 years old at this point or whatever, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking sit here and watch this whole fucking movie.
So,
and then I almost missed my bus because I was like, watch the rest of the movie from that point, and I like look out. I'm like walking up to the checkout, and I see the bus, and I'm like, I don't even need these fucking items that I have. So I just left like half a grocery cart right in the self checkout place, and I was like, bye. I felt like such a piece of shit, but at the same time, I'm like, none of it is perishable. It's all like fucking.
Have you ever gotten super stoned and then went to a Meijer?
Yeah, with you.
Oh yeah.
It's the
Yeah,
best.
it used to be like the best shit ever. Is just getting stoned and walking into a Meijer at 3 a.m. because you're just like, wow, everything is amazing. Look, floors. Wow.
Me and a friend back in the day bought like 17 goldfish, like the fucking like live goldfish, and we didn't even have a tank or anything. So
they
he
all
like
died.
They literally all fucking died, like because he took them to his place because I had a cat, and I'm like, I can't fucking take them home. Like I have a cat, my cat's gonna eat them. He's like, okay. He got home and put them in a fucking pan, like next to the fucking window, like early March. So it's still fucking cold outside, and they all fucking died. And I was like, bro, you murdered all of our fucking fish. You're a terrible person. And he was like, well, my mom didn't move them. I'm like, it's your fucking fault. Like, you put them in a pan next to the fucking window. He's like, I wanted them to see sunlight in the morning. I'm like, that made literally no fucking sense.
Did they make it to the first morning?
No, all 17 fish were dead in the morning. And I'm like, damn, you just caused, this is like the Holocaust of goldfish.
17, 6 million? Like, what the fuck is the difference?
I mean, like goldfish. That's a really bad like comparison, but I couldn't think of another fucking word for genocide. Boom, I could have said that. Not Holocaust. Sorry.
These are the cries of the carrots. You see, Maynard, tomorrow is harvest day, and to them it is the Holocaust. Damn you. Let the rabbits wear glasses.
Oh, were you like in the fucking sky when you put that on your Snapchat or whatever?
What?
I don't know. Like it looked.
Oh, when my harvest?
Yeah.
No, I was in my greenhouse.
Oh.
My parents' greenhouse.
I don't know why I thought you were in the fucking sky. I was like, what the fuck?
You thought I was hanging weed from the sky?
I don't, dude. I
No.
do not know. I like.
He thought you were like up in the air taking a picture down on your weed plants
I was
when
on a-
actually it
I
was
was
your
on a
weed plants
ladder.
upside down.
Yeah. So, my 4 female plants that actually survived, of which there were 10 seeds, 3 didn't grow, 2 were males, and 1 fucking died. I cut them yesterday or the other day and hung them up upside down in our greenhouse to dry out. So I officially grew pot, and now I'm drying pot, and I'm very happy about that. But my setup involves hanging them from like the support beam of the greenhouse on clothespins. They're being held up by clothespins with a wire running through them. And that's the whole thing. I think I need to put a fan in there to decrease the possibility of mold, because that would be disappointing.
Yeah.
But
Meanwhile,
yeah.
I'm just straight up trying to grow mold in my closet upstairs.
Well, it's fun mold.
And behind that wall over there, there's like 3 giant jars of mold.
I mean, the mold that's growing in there probably isn't the good mold, but like, it's.
We can only hope.
Oh god, we're gonna get mad fucked up if that's the good mold.
So Winnie the Pooh got banned in China. And so now with Kingdom Hearts, Winnie the Pooh's like a decent part of the game. And so now they just took him out and put a ball of light in his place.
Wait, what? Winnie the Pooh is banned in China.
Yep.
Why is Winnie the Pooh banned in China?
Because people compare him to the leader. I gotta find a better picture. That one doesn't do it justice.
China scares the fuck out of me. Okay, I don't see it at all, but sure. Man.
I think it's more of the live action one that they're talking about, like how he
Yeah.
has like the and like the same fucking weird smile.
Want to hear a joke involving Winnie Pooh? Winnie
Yes,
the Pooh?
very much.
So there was a kindergartner teacher comes back to class, and she's got a bunch of kids coming in all excited, and she says, "How was your guys this summer? What did you do?" One kid says, "I went outside and I rode my trike." And the teacher says, "All right, we should start using more grown-up words. We should say I went and rode my bicycle." He's like, "Okay." The next kid comes up. "Oh, what did you do all summer?" "Oh, not much. I watched Winnie the Shit."
Winnie the Pooh is the shit. I don't know if you guys know this. I fuck with Winnie the
Christopher
Pooh.
Robin's my homie.
Christopher Robin's a dumb bitch.
Me and
No, I'm
my
just kidding.
cousin,
He's chill.
me and another
I
one of my
identify with
cousins,
Eeyore.
whenever I went over to the house, that was like all we watched.
Tigga is my name.
We all hoped we'd be Tiggers, but then we all just turned out to be Eeyores.
Dude,
Depressed
I don't
as
want to
fuck.
be a fucking. I smoke weed to keep me from being Tigger. I'm like, Tigger's a bit too extra. Eeyore's like, he's a little over dramatic, but you know, he's a little more down to earth.
I smoke weed and then I just turn into Piglet. I just get anxiety. Like mad
dear.
anxiety, and I'm like mad munchies.
I remember Piglet eating very much. That'd be more like
No,
my
that's
poo.
where the Winnie the Pooh comes in. He literally got stuck in a tree because he was such a glutton for honey.
Did he get stuck in a tree? Just inhale through the top. It might be really hard to draw on. The fucker's clogged
That
up.
part?
Yeah, that part.
Yeah, that part.
This fucking my DaVinci Micro is such a piece of shit. Like it was great initially, but it's like some part of it that I can't clean is clogged, and now the air draw is dog shit. I don't know if I'm actually getting anything off of it at this point. I remember the episode of Winnie the Pooh where Pooh gets stuck in Rabbit's house, and like he tries to go out the back door, but his fat ass is so wide that it prevents him from exiting all the way.
That's one of the points in one of the Kingdom Hearts thing, and he's like, "Bruh, I'm fucking stuck." And Sora's like, "I got you," and Goofy's like, he's not there in the story parts. And then Winnie the Pooh, it's just Sora. But I was gonna make a joke, but then I couldn't do the Goofy voice properly. One of my coworkers used to be able to do the Donald thing perfectly, and one of our regulars came in, and he's like, he did like the voice, and he said, "Go." The guy was like, "Shut up," and he was like, he told the guy, "Go fuck yourself," in the Donald voice, and all I could think of was like him, Donald Duck, saying that to Xehanort, like, "Hey Xehanort, fuck you," but like Donald Duck voice, and I was like, "Ha ha ha."
You noticing the
Yeah.
pack sticker over there?
The pack sticker?
Oh no, you leaned very close to it and still failed to see it because it's a black sticker on a black surface. Yep.
Bro, I
Damn.
was looking fucking right at it. I still can't see a shit.
Yeah, it blends.
Pass it to Larry and then pass it back to me.
Wait.
Why would
Are we
you
doing
put that there?
Drugs?
You hit it like twice. Why are you bitching out now? Wait.
I don't do drugs. I just.
So this weed we're smoking, my like childhood friend's mom grew it just at her house 'cause she's trying to get into that shit for back pain.
The
But like my mom and her were hanging out. My mom comes home with a McDonald's bag and sets it on my coffee table in my room. And she's like, "Here, she has way too much, and she wanted you to have this." And there's just a fucking big ass stem with like weed nugs on it.
oh,
And my first thought was like, bro, you can't just fucking walk in the house with that not in like a mason jar. Mom's gonna smell it. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're
she is your
in charge of this. She was like, yeah, my whole car smelled like pot after I like got out and left it in there. And I'm like, that's
See-
why you can't walk around with weed in the open, stupid. It smells like weed.
I really would have been upset if that was me. I would have been like, damn, fucking nuggets, man. Fucking nuggets.
Swear to God, if the possums get into a fight with the skunk tomorrow and we have the party tomorrow,
my
I'm
God.
going to go out there and kick every fucking last one of them.
Dude, it's
Oh, I'll be drunk. Let's fucking
The
beat 'em up.
possums and skunks have like a rivalry. There's the skunks versus the possums. They're like gang shit out there. They're like, they fucking go ham. And
Well, like-
this entire place, you could try any depths of this place will smell like absolute skunk ass.
like
for, like,
our
2
neighbor.
days after
Our
their
neighbor
wars.
came home the other day and was like, I can't pull up to my. I'm like watching her, and she's like, I can't pull up to my spot. I'm like, why? And I look over, and there's like 2 fucking skunks just chilling right there. I'm like, why the fuck is there so many skunks and possums over here? Like when I lived in Grand Ledge, there was literally like a fucking gang of 8 raccoons. I would just like walk around our fucking street, no problem. Like nothing was going on. And they fucked up my neighbor's cat and my cat at the same fucking time. And all I could think is like, damn, Roger, you're getting raped right now. And I would totally help you, but they're fucking raccoons. And I don't want to get rabies or any other kind of diseases.
Get a gun. Fucking shoot the bastards.
Well, like one night they were out there, and my stepdad and me like came out there with brooms and like swatted at them, and one of them like tried to charge into our house when our cat tried to get in, and I'm just like, what the fuck, man? They are fearless. Like, damn. Usually, when I grew up in Lansing and there was raccoons, they would be like, ah, fuck, person, get the fuck out of here. But Grand Ledge raccoons, they're like, gang shit, bruh. don't bring that shit around here, boy. And I'm like,
Fucking like smoking cigarettes and wearing
yeah.
bandanas.
Like one of them had a black
Fucking
and
just pulls out
mild.
a switch knife.
One of them had a black and mild, and I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, where are you from? I'm like, here, bitch. What the
What's up,
fuck?
cuz? I shit on your whole property. I'll make this place smell like my asshole. Gang shit.
And they would like, they were like really smart too, because we had the like big, not the decent sized Grangers, and they would tip over everyone's to get shit. Like our neighbor and us both had small children with diapers and shit, and there would literally be like torn up fucking shitty diapers. And I remember one morning going out there and just being like, what the fuck? Why are they eating diapers? This is why they're fucking retarded and fearless, man. Because they're eating shit.
I've looked into the eye of the creature that fears no evil, for it is the ultimate evil.
And it was
Fucking
eating
raccoons.
shit.
Oh, speaking of ultimate evil, Castle Rock on Hulu is pretty fucking good.
Is it?
Yes.
Is that like a new thing or is it like a...
They had I'm starting season 1. I'm on like episode
Also-
4.
Speaking of shows on Hulu, fuck you for finishing Community without me. I've seen like the first season, and then you just powerhouse through that shit, and I was like, well, damn.
Dude, I've
many
By the
literally,
way, I'm about to spoil the first 2 episodes this season of Supernatural right now. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Dean dies.
Dean doesn't die.
He dies. He's dead.
No, because the people that I follow on Twitter would be like, Dean's dead. What the fuck? Like, I already had one spoil of a character that was in previous seasons that he came back as like a cameo or whatever, and I was like, "Fuck!" I'm like,
Spoiler alert: the dog dies.
I was like, "Fuck! What the fuck?" The dog in I Am Legend dies.
No, no.
It's fucking sad boy
It's one of the
hours.
sad- I was gonna say it's so sad.
You guys ever watch Christopher Walken through?
Yes.
It was a guy that does like Christopher Walken impressions and plays video games, and he was like, "I was at a rap party for I Am Legend, and then the building collapsed, and we had to eat the dog to survive. Let me tell you, kids, it was a lot less sad the second time the dog died."
Oh my god!
His voice is better than mine, though. Oh fuck! Speaking of dead animals, I got a story I gotta tell you guys.
Fuck.
Oh.
So my dad goes out of town on Monday, and he's coming back like Wednesday night. So Monday morning he leaves, and then, because I live on a farm, if I haven't said this before, and we have like cattle, sometimes sheep are a constant, chickens are a constant. There's like 1 or 2 horses running around, it seems like, fuck ton of dogs, and not a fuck ton, there's like 2. But anyway, one of our cattle fucking died like the minute my dad left, because he's the only one that knows how to handle shit. And my mom just like runs in the house and she's like, "Get outside, I need your help with the cow." She's clearly stressed. And it was just, we go out there, and hooved mammals can get this thing called bloat, which, okay, so you know?
Yeah.
That's when like they eat something that expands in their stomach, and so they fucking bloat to the point where they can and often do die. And this thing, I don't know what it was eating, but like it was a tiny ass cow. And like the width of its stomach was twice the width of its body. It was fucked up, and it was making these like awful guttural noises, like methodically and sequentially, just like ah! And I've been hearing it earlier. I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" And my mom like found out that it was dying of bloat, and she was like, "Get out here!" Like we dragged it out of the mud. And she's like, she's suffocating on her own fluids. She's probably gonna die. I'm gonna go get a tube to put down her throat. And she just leaves me out here with this fucking dying cow. And my first thought's like, well, I'm just going to get a gun and shoot it. Like, that's typically how these things pan out.
Yeah.
But I can't do that until my mom comes back and gives me the verdict on what we're going to do. She's gone for 20 minutes. I'm standing there with my foot under this thing's head to kind of prop it up a little bit. And, like, a lot of weird thoughts went through my mind, like they do in times of stress. One of the ones I had was, like, would it be like funny or kind of fucked up if I like took a picture with it or like started like vlogging and was like, "What's up, Jake Paulers? I'm here in like the fucking suicide forest with this dead cow," and like, you know, parroting that whole hilarious meme. What the fuck? You good?
Holy shit! What was that?
9/11 just happened upstairs.
I don't know if that was actually as loud as like what I thought it was.
That was loud as
It
balls.
was loud as fuck.
That sounded like.
I mean, Jake, are you okay? Should we go check on him? Sorry, Bernie. What's up? You're fine, dude. I appreciate you offering to buy us pizza. That's very nice of you. I'll probably eat it out.
How dare you offer to give us food? Also, I'm gonna give Jake like $50 for cleaning.
Don't pay him. He does not want you to pay him for it.
I just feel bad about the whole situation.
Don't feel bad.
I also feel bad. That's why I'm buying
You
pizza.
should feel a little bad.
Like,
Yeah, you're the one who lived here.
I haven't been here
Jake's
either.
not upset because your house is messy. He
I
just
know.
wants to do
I
his thing.
am upset.
Yeah, so don't pay him.
Like,
He's still the one doing the work.
He
and
wants
it's
to.
not his
okay,
place.
He craves this.
I'm gonna
No,
go.
he's doing it because of other motivating reasons.
Like what?
You know, the party that was not supposed to happen here. Otherwise, it would have been here a week ago.
You
and cleaned.
you have time to clean it if that was the case. He just wants to do it now. I'll fucking help him when we're done. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I will too.
Larry, your fucking hair's a mess.
Yeah, fuck you. Your hair was longer than I thought it was too. So,
Isn't it funny how
Fucking
that works?
bitch.
Well, like, I was
You get
supposed to go
dreads.
get a haircut tomorrow, but like, I'm not going to.
I
Because like,
support that.
winter is coming, bro.
Get one in like a few months.
I was gonna
fresh.
wait. I was gonna cut it now and then just like buy a cap, but I'm like, I already have a cap, and I could have my head be like 3 times as warm. But then like people on Sunday or Monday when I get back to work are gonna be like, "You haven't got a haircut yet," and I'm like, "What the fuck you mean?" And they're like, "You said that you were gonna get a haircut on your birthday," and I was like, "I did."
Damn. Did you want a haircut?
Take about 20 to 30% off the top there, Squirrely Dan. I want to go into a barber and tell him that. Just like that's how I'm gonna like announce it. Like, oh, what kind of haircut you want? Take about 20 to 30% off the top there, Squirrely Dan. He's like, what the fuck does that mean? I said, well, I'll fucking figure it out. That's what I said. Fucking figure it out.
Yeah. I don't know.
Hell yeah.
So back to this cow story.
Oh yeah,
Cow
the
is
cow
bloated.
fucking story.
Kearney's
Cow
foot is under
bloated,
cow's
cow is
head.
dying. I don't know. Like the prevailing thought in my head, I was like, no. I don't know why I was thinking like no creature on this earth should have to die alone. So I just kind of like slowly stroked its face, and I was like, it's gonna be okay. Well, and then 20 minutes later, it just fucking died. And then almost like it just stopped moving and stopped making noise. And then my mom walks out and she's like, "Is it dead?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's not like moving or making noises, and I can't feel it breathing." Yeah, it fucking died. But like I've fucking shot animals. I've fallen on chickens and accidentally killed them. But I've never just like been with an animal while it died slowly and painfully. And like I don't know why. I don't know. It's not like really fucking me up. It's just been like bothering me recently. I'm like, ooh, that was ugly. Also, bigger animals you feel worse for because they're more like human.
Yeah.
Almost. I like cattle.
I experienced a bloat death animal about this time last year.
Really?
Yeah, me and Larry got in an argument, and like I got out of his van. And I'm walking.
Oh yeah, that was
I'm
bad.
walking down the road, and like I'm like, what the fuck is that smell? And like I have a very like weak stomach, and I'm like gagging and throwing up, and I finally get to the source like a couple feet down, and I'm just like, the fuck? It's a deer that's like hella exploded, like to the point where it's like gut was like open.
Jesus.
And I'm just like, fuck, like vomiting. And Larry comes around and he's like, I'm sorry, get in. And I'm like, I can't. And he thinks like I'm being pissy. And I'm like, no, I can't. And I'm like, just throwing up like constantly. And I'm like, I can't. And I'm like, I couldn't move from that spot because I'm like just throwing up.
But then he kept throwing up because the smell was at that spot.
Yeah. And like even when I got home, like I had to like take off my clothes, run down to our laundry room and just throw them in because they smelled like it and it was making me even more sick. And I like washed them through 3 times. And I'm just like, I don't want to even like smell a hint of it. And like now I'm just like, whenever someone says bloated, I get like PTSD of that. And like, man, I was a real shit person to Larry. Like I was having a bad day at work and I was like, he was playing some music. I'm like, fuck this shit. What the fuck is this? Fuck you. Like, turn this shit off. He's like, no, like, I like it or whatever. And I'm like, fucking, you're gay, dude. Or something
Hey,
stupid.
got you there, Larry.
You know, thinking back on it, it was like a really stupid argument, and it was really stupid how I reacted. But in the moment, it was, fuck you, get the fuck out of my van. And then I sped off.
Yeah, and then he thought I broke his window, which was I rolled down because I don't like being in a vehicle where like the window's completely all the way up. I don't know, it's just like an anxiety thing.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't have you have to have the window cracked?
Yeah, just at least a little. I don't know, like
Just in
in the
case he has
winter?
to do like an emergency vomit.
just I don't even know. Like it's always been a thing, as far as I can remember. Like
I really think it's a natural instinct that's been built in him. That way, whenever he passes Cracker Barrel, he has the opening so he can make sure Brenda hears him yell, fuck you, Brenda!
fuck you, Brenda, you stupid bitch. I remember one time, one of my friends that no longer worked there, and they left before I did, but they left they left with class. Whereas me, I'm like, fuck you, Brenda. Eat a bag of dicks. Fuck this place. Bye, everyone else. I love all of you. But Brenda, fuck you. And by the time I said that, like, I'm out in the lobby, and there was like a couple of our regulars there that like gave me like a couple claps. And then like I walked
Like customers that hate Brenda?
yeah, like because she's a terrible person, like straight up, like fucking terrible person. And just treats employees like shit and like I don't know. And plus like at that time I was like on a verge of a mental breakdown. I think the only reason why I didn't like go completely batshit crazy is because I got that like at least that part of my life like cut that stress just straight out. I'm like, nah, fuck Brenda, fuck this place. Like it's wearing me the fuck down. Like, nah. Cha-cha-cha. I'm making like slashing motions with my arms for everyone. But I was basically like walked I walked over to the store I ended up working at, and I was like, hey, because I already knew
You
all
mean
of
your current job?
no,
okay.
my previous employment.
Okay.
Place that sells donuts.
Oh yeah, I fucking love that place.
You can buy some dairy there that's pretty quality, if you know what I mean.
But I ended up going there, and I knew a couple of the workers from like running up there during or stopping by there or on my way home or whatever. And there was, I just remember me like, hey, do you guys have paper applications? And I literally filled it out right then and there. And then I filled out an online one once I got home. And I'm like,
For your new employer,
no,
not
for
the place you.
no for the donut place.
Wait, sorry. So you worked there after the first place?
I
place
went
where
from
Brenda
Cracker
was.
Barrel to QD to current place.
Yeah. I got you. Yeah, don't say current place, but I guess the last two don't matter.
Yeah, the last two you can
Yeah.
screw the Martin brothers.
yeah.
They can burn in a hole with Brenda.
No, I mean like they're not bad people. They're just like extremely cheap.
Like they won't replace their pumps.
Yeah, like our gas pumps were absolute shit, and we would have them bagged. And there was at one point we had 16 pumps, and there was one point where 9 of them weren't working. And a guy's like, "What's the point of you guys even being open?" And I'm like, "Bro, I don't even fucking know." And then and like it ranged from like several problems why they weren't working. Like the card readers were always broken, the gas pumps, the handles were always broken. But that I feel like the handle part is mainly due to people just being jackasses. And then like there was like several times where where the receipt comes out.
Yeah.
People would just fucking shove their cards right up in that shit and broke our printer and got their cards stuck to the point where we had to have like an emergency maintenance guy come out to pull out the card. One lady literally had like, because most of the time we could pull it out with tweezers or whatever, or like get something or have someone with really small fingers like pull it out. There was a lady that somehow managed to get like her card all the way fucking in there. Like, I'm just like, how the fuck does that even happen?
If you couldn't fit your card in, why would you keep shoving it?
Yeah, like, especially when there's a fucking sign that says, like, right where you insert the card that says insert card here. Or,
they're putting it in the wrong spot.
Yeah, like, and where the receipt comes out. And I was just like, why? Or, we had a ATM that wasn't through our company. It was through MSU, FCU. And we would put signs, on it to tell people like, hey, it's broken, don't fucking use it. And we'd usually put one over the screen and then put a piece of paper or something over where you insert the card. There was a guy that literally fucking had to remove a sign that was over that card thing, insert his card, and then be like, it ain't my card. And I'm like, I remember just looking at him for like a solid minute. Is like, is there anything you could do? I'm like, no, this is your fault, dude. Like, my manager came out because like he heard me from the audio recording in the back. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, why would you do that? And the guy was like, I don't know what you mean. I'm like, there was a piece of paper over it. Yes. And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, you didn't read it? And he was like, no, I didn't have the time. And I'm just like, this is your fault. There's nothing I could do. You could call the number.
Didn't have the time to read it.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
And the same customer would always come in and like bitch because our machine was always down. And I'm like, bro, it's not our machine. Like, it's not our fault that FCUs, like maintenance people, do a piss poor job. And like, this machine is like older than Jesus.
So, speaking of customers complaining about things that are out of your control, you want to share the story about the old man who confronted you?
Ow.
Oh, so I actually just ended today. I think I might go back at some point next week, but I had a seasonal job at the apple orchard that's like literally 2 minutes up the road from my house by car. They're fucking dope. They're longtime friends of the family. I've been going there since I was born, essentially, but hook me up with that shit real quick. I'm gonna need a fat rip for this fucking piece of shit. So some people are difficult, but like no one's really giving me that hard of a time, except until this one dude who it was an old man with like a cane, and he was with the middle-aged woman who was his daughter. I later found out made sense. They're asking, basically my whole shtick is they walk up, they want to pick apples. I hook them up with the bags. I show them where the best spot in the orchard to get that particular apple is.
Yeah.
And but the way it works is we have one dirt road that goes back, and the orchard's all on the right side. So there are 3 paths that extend off to the right.
Yeah.
The first path is reserved for people that want to walk, and so you cannot drive down there. It's blocked because you're not supposed to drive down. The second two, you can drive right up to the tree line, like right up to the fucking tree line.
Yeah.
And you can't drive past that point because there are fucking families and kids walking around there.
Yeah.
And it's fenced off. It says, So this dude wants to drive up. Like, I'm telling him where to go, and he's like, all right, we're just going to drive over here. I'm like, actually, you can't drive up that road. It's a walking only lane. You can just go to like I forget what I said, but like go to like the next one or whatever. And they left. They're like, all right, they left. They came back, and I'm like checking them out, making sure all the bags are in their car and they're not like hiding apples or whatever. And this old guy's like, let me ask you a question, man. I'm like, yeah, what's up? And he goes, so what's so sacred about the grass back there that you can't drive around on it? And I'm like trying to explain to him like, oh, because at the time I didn't even realize it was like a people issue. I thought it was like, oh, just don't drive on the grass because they'll fuck it up. People will be driving back there all the time. Like, we're trying to keep the place looking nice. And he goes, let me tell you something. You see me, I'm old and I'm walking around here with a cane, I wish you could, like, fucking cut me some slack and let me park in the fucking orchard, so I didn't have to walk around as much. How about I break both your knees and give you the cane and see how you deal with it? And he's just fucking going off. And he said that. And I was like, hey, man, I don't really appreciate the way you're speaking to me right now. That was the first thing I said to him that wasn't like, yes, sir, no, sir. Like, totally polite up to that point. And he was like, yeah, we're going to do something about it because might as well just do it now. Like, insinuating I should fight him. And for a second, I'm like, I could fucking drop this old piece of shit. So, like, I'm not a fighter. I'm a scrawny kid. But this dude's old and with the cane. I'm like, I just tag him in the fucking chin. He would go down like a sack of puppies, And I'm just like, I just stand there agape. Like, I could not believe someone said those words to me. Ignorant of customers, I know.
Yeah.
And he's just like, all right, how much for the bag? They fucking pay me. The daughter, and I'm like, have a nice day, sir. Like, totally, like, fuck this guy. I walk back to my little hovel in my shed to cry, I guess. Like, and the daughter follows me back. She's like, hey, she was totally polite with me, but she's like, hey, like, could you give me like the number of the guy that runs the orchard? And I'm like, why? So you can get me fired? And she's like, no. I just want him to have a voice. And I'm like, what the have a fuck you? Like, God. But I gave it to her. And I'm like, yeah, I just really didn't appreciate how he threatened to break both my knees. And she's like, well, that's just how men talk. And I'm like,
no. Like,
I've mentioned this to a couple men since that point, and they were like, what the fuck was this guy on?
Yeah, like men don't threaten to fucking like.
Yeah, so I mean, he ends up calling my boss. I'm pretty confident that I'm not going to get in trouble for this.
Yeah.
Homeboy, shout out my boss. He told the old guy straight up, like, no, you can't drive back there because fucking kids are running around, and I don't appreciate you threatening my employees. And I was like, boom, bitch.
See,
Yeah.
when I worked
that
for QD, I had several customers be complete asses to me. And most of the time I would be like, okay, just let them. But there was like a couple specific times where I just remember being like, fuck you, dude. Like, one of them, like the lady got up all in my face and she was pushing me up against the pump because it wasn't like her card wasn't working at the pump and it didn't work inside. And I'm like, I could try one more time out at the pump. And I'm like, ma'am, it might be a card issue. It didn't work inside and it's not working out here. And this is when she like mind you, she's a big ass woman, like big. And she's like charges me and I'm like, oh God, I'll get fucking crushed. And I'm like, ma'am, like, I need to get back to work. And she's like, no, you're not leaving until like I get fucking gas. I can't fucking leave. And I'm like, your card's not working. There's not much I could do here. Do you have cash or another card we could use? And she's like, no, this is the only thing I have. You're going to fucking use it. And she's like pushing me more into my gas pump. And I'm like, ma'am, like, and I'm like, there's no fucking audio recording out here. I'm like, ma'am, you need to back the fuck up. Like, first off. Second off, like, your card's being declined probably because you don't have fucking money on it. And like, I walk back in the store, and like, one of my coworkers is like, everything all right out there? I'm like, yeah. And the fucking lady drives by, fucking honks the horn, flips me off, and I fucking flip her back off. And my manager's like, oh, do you know them? I'm like, yeah, that's like my best friend. And I'm just like, to this day, I'm like, fuck that lady. Like, I've never seen her again, but if I ever do, I'm gonna be like, you broke, bitch. That was really loud. Sorry. Do not. But like, if you're gonna like go to a place of like either like some type where you're gonna get customer service of any sort, don't be a fucking asshole to the representatives or any staff there. Like, you entitled piece of shit. I mean, like, if you're having really shitty service or, the person's high off their ass, like to the point where they're like falling asleep on the counter, yeah, like totally. But when they're just trying to do their job and being polite, don't be a dick. Burp.
I don't get like what kind of people are like shitty to like gas station employees. I don't get that.
Well,
self-entitled assholes probably.
I also had a guy spit on me, but like,
whoa,
like
that's
then,
assault, brother.
Like, well, he spit on me and he pushed me, and I extend my arm to like, mind you, this guy is a short old fuck. So like, when I extend my arm to put on his chest, his arm was like he tried to reach back and push me, and I'm just like, the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, you are at most 5'3". I'm 6'4". You weigh probably 120 pounds. I could pick your ass up and throw you out in the street.
I could break you.
I could fuck your wife right in front of you, and you wouldn't be able to do anything about it.
I could be fucking your wife and like holding you back with the other hand.
But like then one of the managers were out there, and he was like, "Sir, you need to fucking leave. Like, get the fuck out of here." And I'm just like, yeah, finally someone has my back when I'm getting shit on by like a thing. But my supervisor at the time told me I should have handled it better and not put my hands on him. I'm like, I was just trying to keep him from pushing me again or putting his hands on me. All I did was keep him at arm's length because his arms were like baby sausages. Like all I could think of is like I never had like my older stepbrother was never very much bigger than me. So like he never could do the like the teasing thing where you put like something up high while you're holding them. Like he never could do that. But I was just imagining me doing that and I'm like, this fucking guy, what is wrong with him?
So I was just messaging our good friend William to let him know that the party was moved. And his response to find out the address was, send me Addy for tomorrow, por favor.
He needs that Adderall hookup for the party.
I'm legit concerned whether or not he just wants to get railed on Adderall or whether he wants the address
Get
for my
railed on
party.
his dick. Some guy I was selling weed to texted me and he was like, yo, you got the Adderall hookup? And I was like, fucking no. What do you think I am, a drug dealer?
Just steal my
Yeah.
brothers.
Is your brother on Adderall? Fuck yeah, dude.
See, I can't
Let's smoke
remember
it.
what ADHD medicine was, but I know when I was on when I took Adderall, I was like, my brain was like focused, but there was one that was like semi-focused, but it also made my depression so much fucking worse.
Ritalin?
Yeah, it was probably yes.
Yeah,
It was
Ritalin
probably,
is fucking terrible.
dude. I just remember
Ritalin
being
sounds
like,
fun.
I just remember being on that, and then like a bunch of other fucking pills to counterbalance it. And I was like, bro, I can't even fucking sleep. I haven't slept in 3 days. And I'm in like a freshman in high school, and people were like, David, you look like shit. What the fuck's wrong? And I'm like, what the fuck's wrong? Yeah, I haven't slept in 3 days.
So to put in like a paraphrasing on why Ritalin is bad, at least when you just have normal depression, you're like, I'm depressed, and there are memes about it, so I can like kind of find the beauty in this terribleness. But when you're on Ritalin, it's like nothing. That won't even pull it back from the edge of
like-
this. You're just, fuck it, I want to die.
I thought
Yeah.
Ritalin like made you energetic and shit.
No, Ritalin does the exact opposite, actually. For people who are ADHD, it dumbs them down. It's basically a temporary lobotomy.
No, it's like retard pills.
It's like just popping a bunch of Xans, except for
Damn.
you'll stay awake.
yeah.
That sounds kind of fun.
Not really.
No,
It's like
it was
fucking bad.
like it. Out of like all of the points in my life, it is the top 3 lowest points of my life.
I can hear Jake fucking singing upstairs.
I know.
Such
At
a
first,
fucking
I was like,
queer.
I forgot that he was here, and I was
Dude,
like,
okay. I suck penis.
Haunted.
He's also our editor, so that might not be in the podcast.
Yeah. You want to just say a bunch of shit so Jacob can either like choose whether or not he wants to keep it in there or what he wants to. Jake's fuck it, I want to die.
Dude, okay, so Larry and I were, by the way, I want to make a point. Like, I am a goddamn queer. That's based off a text I got from a friend who's in the military right now. And he just like texted me or put in our group chat once, I fucking hate my roommate. He sings all the time like a goddamn queer. And just out of context, I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
Jake
I want to suck large testicles.
We were driving here, and Larry was like, "Damn, look at that sunset. Jake would love to be out here taking pictures of that." And I'd be like, "Dude, he'd be like, I think what the situation we ended on is Jake is sitting in like my back right seat of my car taking pictures. I'm in the passenger seat, giving him the reach around handy. You know what I'm saying? And meanwhile, Larry is somehow blowing me while operating the steering wheel with his feet as he's leaning over the center console, and he has a lazy eye in this fantasy that I had. And one of the lazy eyes is looking out the fucking, I don't know why I'm doing this with my hands so you guys can see. One of them is looking out the windshield to see where the fuck he's going. The other one are looking at my luxurious wrinkled testicles lustingly. That's the word I'm looking for. And that's how Jake takes pictures.
So Larry got no pleasurement from this at all. Like,
I don't know. He probably likes it.
I mean, but like, Jake's
See,
dick,
what you don't
Jake's dick's
understand.
getting a hand job.
I had the shifter knob up my ass.
Oh fuck, goddamn.
Dude, the sob
quit.
shifter knob is like not what you want to have in your ass because it's like a T shape almost.
Oh,
So the actual shifter is like thinner than the part you'd have to get in your ass first.
You got.
I bet you could like
coming
contract
at-
your
at an
asshole and
angle.
like make it click in so you could actually shift. You know, I'm sure there are porn stars that could fit. Like people fit fists in their anus. Like that's probably doable. I was watching porn one time and like before they actually started like fucking and shit, it was lesbian. The two girls are like being interviewed by the like person that runs the website or whatever, and they're like, it's like, what are your limits today? And the one girl's like, no anal fisting. And I was like, well, you know, she's got a fucking baseline at least. No anal fisting.
What's this?
Oh, it's a fucking CBD.
Oh, I thought you were just giving me a fucking pen to like draw something. I was like, the fuck.
You wanna
Did
hit?
you just hit the wrong side of it?
No.
You hit the silver side?
Yeah, you want to hit cause the other side would light up if you're hitting it right. I'm serious. Look at it. It illuminates. Oh fuck! Well, that almost got coffee all over it.
You're a coffee.
Sick. I bought this for like $30 in Detroit and hit it while I was running through the tunnel that borders Canada and the U.S.
Nice.
in a marathon, and I was just like, I would hit the fuck out of it, and then I would see a cop and like put it in my pocket.
What was
and
that
I'd hit the fuck
marathon
out
called, by
again.
the way?
The Detroit Free Press. My great uncle Neil was one of the founders of it. He worked for the Free Press. So I did the half marathon, you know, and then, but like I was 20 minutes slower than my time last year because I had to stop and take a shit twice. And despite this, so the way we had our relay, I was in a relay technically. The way we had it set up was my dad, my youngest sister, and I were going to run 6 miles, tag in with our cousins at the 6 mile mark, and they were going to do that 6 miler, and then that was like the relay finished. And I think they were tagging someone else after that. So I ran 6 miles, and then they ran 6 miles. So that's like 12 miles from the starting line. A half marathon is 13.1 miles. Now I'm going to flex on them for a second. My dad gave me all 3 of like the race batons because he's old and slow, and my sister, who was supposed to have one of them, has awful shin splints and couldn't run. So I had all 3 batons. I tag into with them at the 6 mile mark, having stopped and shit twice and running 7.1 miles farther than they did. Having run 6 miles before they started, I still finished before them. So I ran 7.1 miles faster than they could run 6 while shitting twice and having run 6 miles before that. And I was like, for once, I'm the fucking alpha male here. Because believe me, it is no other point in my family history.
Oh, God. I think the closest thing, God, I can't even remember what it was for. I think it was like a church thing or something. Or it wasn't a school thing. All I know is at some point in my life, I did a like 5K run through something. And I was like 11 or 12. And I just remember like full on sprinting like for the first part of it, and then like not being able to finish because like I was just like my stomach hurt and I was just like, I'm gonna throw up. And one of my friends who was like right next to me this whole way sprinting, I look back at him and he's just like over in the bushes, just and, like immediately as I seen like a stream come out of him, I'm throwing up. And a bunch of people that are walking past us are also like pulling over to the side and throwing up. And they're like, we would have been so good. We saw you two throwing up, and like, oh my God. And I'm like, dude, we're all vomit buddies. And
Hey, vomit gang.
Gang.
one of the older women, she was probably like early 30s to mid 30s, was like, you guys were going pretty fast there at the start. I thought you were gonna go all the way like that. I'm like, I thought too. I didn't realize it was this fucking long. And she's like, oh, you have a mouth on you. And I'm like, duh, didn't you just see me vomit everywhere? And like, I was way more of a sarcastic, like cynical asshole back then. Like, I feel like throughout the years, I've just mellowed out and become a better person. You could even ask Larry. When we were younger, I was such an asshole to him for no good fucking reason.
Yeah, dude. This motherfucker right here. And don't get me wrong, he always got his ass like fucking beat over that shit.
Yeah, like, and sometimes I would just like look at him, and then he would start crying, and my stepdad would come up and be like, "Stop fucking making him cry! What the fuck?"
In my Uncle Jim's eyes, oh fuck, oh well. In his eyes, I could do no wrong because it'd be sitting there and I could like throw a fucking lamp at the wall, and then David wouldn't even be there, and the next day he'd get his ass beat for it.
Like, the fuck, you weren't here to watch him?
Oh, one of my favorite childhood memories of getting everyone's ass beat because I'm a dumbass. Don't ask me why this shit fucking happened.
Yeah,
But
I already know what it is.
we walk up the stairs, and there's like 6 giant fucking things of baby powder.
Like, fucking huge ass.
Huge
bottles.
ass things of baby powder, right?
Like Costco baby powder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
fucking huge.
And so it somehow turned into one of his sisters, like as a joke, like puffed it, but like it actually like puffed out all over her other sister, and she was like, "Oh fuck you," and grabbed the other one and like went back. And it turned on into like a full on like
War.
Everyone was fucking throwing that shit everywhere, dude.
Like-
it was all over the carpet, all over the walls, all over the ceiling, everything in that like
Yeah.
room. And fucking, we would have gotten away with it because everyone else like.
We decided to put on like a layer of clothes over it. And then like when my parents because all the time when my parents would leave, we had like 3 older siblings that were like
Dumbasses.
mid to late teens. So like they'd be like, oh, okay, there's 6 kids here. 3 of them are older teenagers. Like they should behave themselves. Every fucking time some stupid shit would happen. Like
It
one
was
of the
them.
one of the times I wanted scrambled eggs, no one wanted to make me scrambled eggs. So I was like, fuck it, I'll make my own. I put the fucking carton of eggs in the fucking microwave. Mind you, I'm like really young. Almost burnt out our fucking house. And
You put the egg carton with eggs in it.
Yeah.
What happened?
they fucking exploded. The fucking carton itself caught fire. My brother came down there and he's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I just wanted scrambled eggs.
Yeah, so
My mom came home and she's like, you literally just broke the fucking VCR not too long ago by giving it a sandwich. I'm like, he was hungry.
yeah, so
I'm
back
so
to the
hungry.
baby powder story. The way we all got in trouble was my fault because I was the dumbass. I don't know. I was only like 4 back then. I was
Not even, you were like 3.
I was very, very young.
Yeah.
And I ran downstairs as soon as I got home, covered head to toe in baby powder. I was like, it's snowing upstairs. Oh boy, did we ever get our asses beat.
Like, and it would always start from either, it would be youngest to oldest. And like, whenever we would get in trouble and they would want to find out, it'd be like my sister, then me, then my older sister. And it was always like, I have 2 step siblings and they were the oldest. It was always my oldest blood sister that would always do the fucking shit. And like, to this day, I'm like, you're a piece of shit. Like, you cause so much trouble. Fuck you. She doesn't even know where we live because I've like refused to
Yeah.
let people like have her over here. I'm like,
Oh, she's still like,
Now, she is exiled, banned
Yeah.
from the community. She
Yeah.
is
yeah,
really?
like,
she is put in the recycling bin and emptied that shit. She's gone.
fuck.
no,
Wipe
like,
the hard drive
she's-
clean, install a brand new operating system. She's
No,
not
I-
part of this family.
No, I don't. I don't enjoy her company whatsoever. Like, I
Getting
rather
that
sit
impression.
and I rather sit and deal with a crackhead at Quality Dairy at 1:30 a.m. That's like, hey man, you got any money? As I'm buying a bottle of liquor, like, nah. Sorry, bro. I don't got shit. And he's like, you sure? I'm like, nah. Meanwhile, I'm like, bruh, this guy wants money. He's probably gonna fucking rob you. Good luck with that. Have a great day. And I'm fucking
Was it us
walk-
that was like in the Meyer parking lot when that one lady just tried to ask for money while we were sitting in the car? I don't know if it was when I was with you. I think it was Jake who was driving. We were just sitting in the Meyer parking lot. It might have been me who was driving actually. We were sitting in the Meyer parking lot and some lady just comes up and is just like comes towards us and then she's like rolling her window down and like motioning towards like a wallet for money. And I was like, just put it in reverse and floored it out of there. I was like, no.
Dude, were you fucking, what, like the second time I was ever at MTU, so my freshman year of college before I went there, I went out with 2 of our friends and met up with our people that we're friends with up there. And we're fucking at this gas station that's owned by Native Americans, like half an hour from MTU, because we were coming back from Northern. What? God damn it.
Just got me on that shit too. You can't.
I was gonna look at both of you.
Well, since you
and
can't really get away with that, like audibly, you can at least say I lost the game.
I just lost the game.
I fucking lost the game.
Did you, David?
No.
Look at my penis.
Oh God.
Look at it.
Curdy, no, we're not that close of friends. Larry seen my penis.
I had to point out like that.
Did I tell you how I've seen like Nathan's dick and balls like separately?
I've seen them both at the same time, you pleb.
Oh yeah, no. It wasn't intentional. But like he jumped in my bed, which is a top bunk of a loft, and like I could see him because he was wearing like loose ass boxers. So I saw his
That's
balls.
exactly what happened with fucking David when he plopped on the couch. I was like, oh God, fuck no.
I love when balls slip out. It's so much fun. But then one time he was drunk as shit and in like his underwear again, and he sits down and just like the head of his dick was poking out.
Do you want to play
And I
ball
like
or
looked over
dink?
and I was like, whoa, fuck.
Do you want to play ball or dink? It's where you just scrunch up either a ball or a dink, and someone's got to guess which one it is.
God. Damn.
Oh, my other friend from tech was like, you ever do like the bubble gum thing? And I'm like, no. And he's like, it's when you just like pull your balls out and you like let them hang to like the side of your zipper, and you try to like get your friend to look at it with like nonchalantly. And I'm like, I don't know, like it sounds like fun, but at the same time, I don't know if I'm like comfortable with myself enough to do that shit.
See, drunk me would find that shit hilarious. One of the very first times I ever got drunk when I was like 15, I helicoptered my dick in front of like 7 other people. One of them being my friend's dad, and I'm just like, to this day, I'm like, I've like randomly, he's come in my current place of work, he's come in at QD, and I'm just like, he's seen me helicopter my dick. And I like told my old chef manager, like, he seen me do some dumb shit, and he's like, oh, LOL, what? And I was like, I can't explain to you without it being like borderline sexual harassment, so I'm just gonna say, yeah, some stupid dumb shit. And he's like, oh, are you talking about the time you helicoptered your dick? And I'm like, he said it, not me, so it's fine. And she's like, oh my God, why would you do that? I'm like, I was 15, I was extremely drunk, and I was like, this would be really fucking funny. And to this day, whenever I get drunk, I'm like, my hands are not going near my pants. If they do, dick's coming out.
You're just going to reach for your phone, and then your hands are like, nope.
Yeah, I'm like, also another thing that I do, I'm one of those people that will like want to text the person they love. And like, you did not come with us for that one B-dubs thing.
I've been in B-dubs once.
Okay, like me, him, and 2 other of my friends went to B-dubs with 3 other of my friends. One of them being a female that for a long time I had a thing for. And that night I got home, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna text her and tell her how I feel. Like, tonight's the fucking night. And he had my phone, and I did not work the next day, and he's calling me, and I'm like, I don't fucking see it. He put it on top of like the our old blind set, like the railing, and I'm looking for it, and I'm like, I fucking hear it, and I have a terrible hangover, and he's calling me. I'm like, I can't find it. So I use our Google Home to call him. I'm like, where the fuck did you put it? And he's like, I've been calling you. You can't find it? And he's like, check the fucking blinds. And I'm like, they're not behind here. And he's like, on top. And I look up and I see like the fucking always on display thing. I'm like, oh, it's right there. But
wait, was that the night that we went to B-dubs and I would have been fine had I not smoked like 2 huge bowls out of this bong. that was like Colin's level, but like 10 times more. This thing.
Yeah, it got Colin really fucked up. It got me fucked. That was the first night I've ever been crossfaded, like ever.
David tapped
You
out
should not have
after.
hit a bong.
David tapped out after that bong.
David's smart.
I smoked a second bowl and then within a 15-minute period slammed 3 mic'd harder lemonades, which are like 8% alcohol.
And then had a beat of that.
And then I lost my soul.
Well, like you might have also didn't you also try that sweet peach wine?
And then, yeah, I did. And then I walked inside. And before I even got inside, I was like, David, go upstairs. I'm not going to make it. He's like, why? I was like, your stomach is weak. And
Yeah, dude, he like threw up, and I was like, fuck, and I was like running up the stairs, and I'm like, who the fuck locks both the locks? And I'm so pissed off at myself because
no, our old apartment only had 1 lock back then.
I thought it was
No, remember that one only had the deadbolt. The
Yeah.
door, the handle never had a
Well,
lock.
I was like trying to fucking I was trying to unlock it, and I couldn't, and I was just like, fuck it, and I like ran down the back because our old apartment had the 2 stairs. Like 2 entrances, one from the back, one from the front. And I'm like running down the stairs, like holding in the vomit. And I get to the back porch and I'm just like, "Bleh," all over the sidewalk. I'd even like make it like to turn my head. It was just all sidewalk. Meanwhile, I could hear Larry like from the front of the apartment vomiting. And I'm like, I just want to die.
There was some person walked out like while I was mid vomit. I was like, "Whoa," and he's like, "You okay, man?" And I was like, "Yeah, just had a bit too much." He's like, "I've been there. Stay safe, man." And just walked away.
Well, I think we both would have been really I think Larry would have been really fine if he didn't have like the really spicy wings from B-Dubs, because I think it was the combination of all of that, because I was
2 huge bowls out of a bong that annihilated me, and then slamming those in a 15-minute period, and then
You're such a
having really
dumbass. Why would
spicy
you
food.
do that?
I was in a dark place.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
that was
Yeah.
right
Say I'm
after
not now, but-
that was right after
was it?
what's his name moved out, right? It was like
Nah, yeah,
Wait, was this last year
yeah.
when you lived in the other apartment?
Yeah.
yeah, dude. I miss that other apartment as much as I hated that place.
Yeah.
I think the area surrounding it was way nicer than this one.
True.
Yeah.
100%.
The main thing I miss about that is the fucking laundry room downstairs. Like, I hate that our dryer doesn't fucking dry our clothes all the way. Or
You should just get like fans and hang everything up.
well, like
That'd work better.
I've like tried to do that, but then like at the same time it's getting colder, so it's not gonna be, I feel like it's not gonna be as effective. But
Jews.
are really great people. Some might say the best people on the planet.
I'm
Jesus was a
vaguely
Jew.
Jewish.
Huh?
I'm vaguely Jewish.
As am I.
You look Jewier.
Oy
Are
vey.
you Jewish, Larry?
No.
I don't
he's
know.
not.
My nose has been broken enough and my hair is curly enough that I could probably pass it off.
Well, like that's because we have like
Has your nose
That
been
was
one
on
direction?
our,
races.
on our mom's side,
Damn.
his mom and my mom.
My nose has been broken 3 times. And it's
I did not
after
notice
the second
that
time,
until
it
now.
never healed properly. So I can't remember which way it's pointed, but it's pointed one way more than the other, definitely. Yeah.
It doesn't
See-
look bad. I just like never noticed that shit, which
It
is a
just
good
was
sign.
like, whoop, whoop.
I've only had my nose broken once, and it was because of my own stupidity involving a tree branch.
I broke mine walking dead into a wall. First time when I was the first time and the last time I broke it, we're both running into walls. One, I was 2 years old. And I was just a little shit. And I was just like, "Eep." Fucking broke my nose. Second time I broke my nose. Oh, second time I broke my nose was because fucking I was on the bus and I had my trombone because I was a fucking band nerd. And some kid was like, huh, and like pulled it backwards, and I like went to pull it away from him. Fucking swung right back into my face, broke my nose that time. And then the third time, yeah, I ran right into a brick wall. Just kind of stupid. I was playing frisbee with someone, and they threw it, and I was like, oh, fuck, no, I'm dead.
See, I stepped on the end of the stick, and I was like trying to like catch it, and it just fucking smacked me in the face, like really fucking hard. Not only did it break my nose, but like one of the side twig things fucked my face like real hard. And I was just like, I come inside, bleeding cheek, fucking nose like gushing out blood. And my stepdad's like, what the fuck happened? Like, are you okay? I'm like, a stick hit me right in the fucking face. I'm like, and he's like, who threw it? Like, what happened? And I'm just like, I didn't want to be like, oh, I was being a dumbass, because then he'd beat the shit out of me. Like, fucking dumbass. So I was just like, me and one of my friends were playing, and he hit me in the face and felt really bad, and he went home. And he's like, who was it? Like, trying to get them. And I'm like, one of my friends from school. And he's like, where does he live? I'm like, I don't know. Like, he just knows where we live because we walked home together all the time, and his house is further up the road or something. And I just remember looking at him, and then him realizing that it was my dumbass fault. And I'm just like, he knows. And like, I've never confronted him like, hey, when I broke my nose, did you know that I was a dumbass and broke my own nose by myself and there was no one else around? But I've never said that because I'm like, that's the one thing. Like, he might think he knows, but he doesn't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick. I showed up to the site of someone's Eagle Scout project when I was in Boy Scouts, and like minutes before I had gotten there, one of the scouts that was working on it, a true Boy Scout, because he was a dumbass, and he stepped on a rake and fucking just blasted himself in the face.
See,
Like fucked up his nose.
I've seen working at a horse stable when I was 18. I've seen someone do that, but like instead of he dodged it, and I fucking just whacked him really hard in the shoulder, and he like had a weird ass bruise welt thing. I'm just like, you should have just took it to the face. And his mom's like, you pussy. And I just, because like before this, like they never cussed, like mainly because we worked around kids, but when it was just us, never cussed, never like anything like that. She would always call like people dear, and just really sweet old white lady.
Hun, dear, pussy.
Yeah. And she was like, yeah, you pussy. And I just like looked at her, and like so did like everyone else that was in my group, just looked at her, and we all fucking laughed. And she's like, what? He should have took it like a man. And I'm just like, no, it's not that. It's the fact that you called him a pussy, just like so bluntly. She's like, oh, I do it all the time, hon. And then we look at him, and she's like, bro, she might seem like a really sweet lady, but she is savage. Like, you should hear her while she drives. She called the old man a stupid cunt the other day. I'm just like, I'm just looking at her like, the fuck? Everything I know is a lie. And then like 15 minutes later, the kids arrived that would go on the horses. And I'm just watching her speak to the parents. And I'm like, one of these days, she's going to snap and call a parent that's going off because her kid's not getting enough time on the horses or whatever, a stupid cunt. And I'm just going to be here laughing.
See,
but it never happened.
That kind of moment happened with our grandmother. Our grandmother, who is super, super, super double, triple, extra, super, very religious, was in the middle of an all Christian campground specifically designated to getting together and just like going to church every single minute of the day for a week. And oh yeah, it was never a great experience. There was always a lot of family drama.
Cringe.
But our cousin Kevin was with our grandmother, who, yeah, I get sometimes she forgets where she is because, you know, she can't see and stuff. But we're walking through the middle of this very, very, very religious campground, and I just hear, "Stop it, you asshole!" Yelling at our younger cousin. And I was like, well, older cousin. I was like, ooh, you in trouble.
No one said shit because
This is the same grandma that at a family reunion, David went up to give her a hug, and she's just like, "Bop," and broke his nose. But she didn't break him. She punched him in the face.
Yeah, she busted my lip, and like
Why did she hate you?
Huh?
Why did
No,
she hate
she's
you?
blind.
She's blind, so like she startles very easily, especially when you go try to give her a good old Christian side hug.
Yeah.
Like that's all I was trying to do because
And she's just like,
she
nope.
was she was seating and like she was sitting, not seating. She was sitting and someone was like right in front of her and I'm like, excuse me, I just want to give my grandma a hug. Like, get the fuck out of my way, you fourth cousin peasant. But they were talking to her,
lineage,
so I was just
bitch.
like, I went to go give her a hug from the side, like, hey grandma, like, how are you? And before I could even like, I put my arm around her and I was about to be like, hey grandma, how are you? Fucking fist just blap, and I'm like, I'm like, Jesus, take the wheel.
Dude, and our grandma claims she was blind, that she can't see shit. But if it comes to playing Uno, that she will like destroy anyone. I'm pretty sure like if Yu-Gi-Oh were Uno, like
My grandma has the heart of the cards. Literally,
she's sending people to the Shadow Realm playing Uno, okay?
dude.
She's that good.
She a couple weeks ago, it was me and her playing, and my older sister who takes care of her. She had my sister won out, so it was just me and my grandma. My grandma played 3 fucking skips, a draw 4, and then like the way I don't know if it's like the way you're supposed to, but whenever we would play, in order for you to change the color on a draw 4 or wild, you got to put down an extra card. So she was like, skip, 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 draw 4, Uno, 7, out. And I'm just like, the fuck? Like, fuck you, dude. I just looked at her and I'm like, and she's like, want to play another game? And I'm like, no, I don't. I want to go home and fucking drink now, grandma. I didn't actually say that. I'm like, no, grandma, I'm good.
Yeah, another one of her BS I'm blind moments is you would be like 5 feet away doing some shit she had just told you not to do. And she would like not even look because you know she's blind. She'd fucking take her cane and be like, bam! And you're like, what the? That was some like supernatural third eye type shit because she'd be looking dead at this wall and she'd just like reach behind her and smack you dead on the hands and you're like,
Because she can hear you, dude. She's like Daredevil.
yeah,
Dude,
she's fucking insane.
I remember
Sounds a lot
when
like Daredevil.
I was
Rolls
like,
around beating people with canes.
I was like 4 or 5, and my mom was either getting ready for work or just got home from work, so she was like getting dressed or taking the shower or something. My grandma was watching me and my younger sister, and I'm like, ha 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 ha, you can't see us, you know, just being a little fucking 4-year-old prick. My grandma takes her cane, and it's like not one of the walking canes, but like one that you support yourself with because she lost her walking cane, and one of our family members, instead of getting her a walking cane, got her like a blind walking cane. They got her like a walking support cane. Like, dumb bitch. Like, this doesn't help her whatsoever. But she took that, swept out my feet, like all one solid motion, swept out my feet, and then like fucking hit me on my ass, like as I'm falling down.
why?
Because I was being an asshole and like, you can't see me, ha, like jumping around, like jumping back and forth.
Fucking Daredevil, your ass.
My sister, my younger sister was like, stop being mean to grandma. I'm like, I'm not. She's blind. You can't be mean to the blind or something like that. My grandma was just like, all right, bitch.
Can't be mean if there's subhuman trash.
Before I forget to remind you, there was just a nice little message from our friend who was on the podcast last episode who would like a edible for tomorrow.
He already hit me up about that.
Oh, you just said to remind you because he has no way of currently reaching you.
Yes. No, that will happen. Or I'll just give him the ABV jar.
Got to
Get him
do.
fucked
Just
up.
mix this into a
Got to do
smoothie and down the whole thing fast.
Since that like first time I boofed him, like those edibles have not been doing much for me. And the first time they did way too much for me.
Yeah,
which
have
is
you ever
weird.
boofed an edible before?
No.
Mix
The
it in
first time
puree
I
and
ever
shoot
did
it
an
up the
edible, you left for like 6 hours.
butt. And you couldn't go
Oh,
downstairs.
is that the day you couldn't get down the stairs?
I couldn't walk down the stairs. I had like a really bad case of vertigo, and I'm like, nah, these stairs are too fucking long. And we had our cat at that time, and I'm like, Yule, please go get me some water. I can't get down the stairs, bro. Please, dear God, help. And he just fucking walks down the stairs, and our stairs is set up so we have like this little balcony area, and I'm looking down, and I'm like, Yule, please. And I just see him like, that's you, not me. No one loves me.
What the fuck is Jake doing?
Like, probably hardcore fucking someone up there right
Oh
now.
shit, I'm gonna get on that.
And I'm
He's
like,
probably getting off to cleaning the surfaces. He's like, so fucking sanitized.
and he's, I'm looking at my cat, and I'm like, please, there's a water bottle in the fridge. I know this for sure. Please. And he just walks away, and I'm like, you fucking traitor. And I'm yelling at him, and I'm like, fuck it. I'll just go play video games in my room. And I'm like, sitting in a chair, and I'm like, I thought only like a couple minutes passed. Larry comes home like way later on that night, and he's like, what have you been up to? And I'm like, first off, fuck you for leaving for like 30 minutes, fucking asshole. And Larry's like, I've been gone for like 6 hours. I'm like, so you're telling me I've legit just been playing this one fucking level in, I can't remember what game it was, but I was just trying to, I think it might have been Mario Odyssey or something. I was trying to get every fucking...
Mario Odyssey when high is magical.
I was just trying to get everything in one particular level of some game. And I'm just like, I'm missing one thing because I had 98%. I'm like, it's probably just one thing. I'm like, what the fuck is it? And I'm like searching around the whole level, couldn't find it. And I'm just like killing a bunch of enemies and just like, nah, fuck this game. But I didn't put it down for like 6 hours. I just remember just thinking a very small amount of time passed and being really mad at my cat for not getting me a water bottle from the fridge.
I feel like it wasn't the cat's fault. He is a cat after all.
He is an asshole after all, an ungrateful asshole.
Who fucking left us.
He's a cat.
He left
Animals
us.
have stupid brains. They're stupid.
If it was a dog, he would have came back home. This is not Homer. I thought it was
If
going to be
that
like,
bitch comes scratching on the door when it gets cold outside, I'm going to say, no, fuck you.
I'm going to break out the soy sauce.
What? You wouldn't.
I want it.
I'll fucking take him home. There's already 8 cats that don't live at my house that...
That's assuming that the
there.
9,000 possums and skunks out there haven't teamed up to, like, gun his ass down because, like...
Gang.
Cats
shit.
can brawl, dude.
Not wanting to get in raped by
crawl at
possum
people.
or fucking raccoons like Roger did. Fuck, dude.
Jesus.
Oh, poor Roger. That
Dude.
cat got fucked up.
Can I ask, like... Fuck. So I've been playing through Pokemon Diamond again.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's
Game.
kind of like the one generation where people kind of like... That was my first Pokemon game, so I'm
Yeah.
like super attached to it. But the Gen 4 is like the one where people seem to stop having nostalgia. A lot of people anyway, because like the
Yeah.
first 3 gens are sacred. So what's your
Yeah.
guys' opinion on like what are some of your favorite Pokemon from that gen?
I really like Gen 4, especially the underground bits, because I just
That
remember
shit's so much fucking fun.
Yeah, like when they do the remakes, they definitely need to have the underground, mainly because like I remember setting up so carefully, like the traps that like launched you back and forth and everything. For my cousin, who I would always play with him and his older sister, we would always play Pokemon together. Like we would all like when the stars came out, we'd be like this one, this one, this one, this one. And this is like this and Sun and Moon were the only games where Sword and Shield, and it stopped at Sun and Moon that we stopped doing that.
Damn.
And I was like, damn.
Starting with what game?
Since Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald.
Damn.
What game was it?
So, and like even in like the remakes for games, so like Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Leaf Green, Fire Red, we would do that. Like, and then we would trade over eggs for 2 eggs, or get 2 eggs to trade over to the other people. And I just remember like setting up these traps that like launched you everywhere. And then fucking like when they joined, I was like, oh, don't, I'm like, like trying to get them to step on the start tile that launched them everywhere.
Yeah.
And I fucking stepped on it. And I was just like,
No.
and
The
like
traps
we were
won't
all
use.
sitting in the same room and they're just looking at me and I'm just like, I could close it right now and you guys wouldn't even be able to see like what's going on because it would cut off the connection. And they're just looking at me, laughing. And I'm like, I hate life. I hate everything. Another thing I liked about it is with Platinum, I believe it was. I really liked I played that a couple months ago for the first time, like
Yeah.
all the way through.
I
I really liked the distortion. World. I wish
That was such a small part of the game, though.
I know, like I loved how it was, but then they didn't really. I
That
wish
was, like,
that
all
would
I
have been
heard about.
more post game shit. Like, oh,
Yeah.
go to the distortion world.
Kind of like the Delta episode. And
Yeah. And like how you could go through the ultra wormhole and ultra sun and ultra moon, which that's like
Those games.
that like where you could go through those and like catch other legendaries or whatever through the that like if Platinum would have done something more like that with the distortion world, it would have been so cool. But it was just like a one visit thing. And I was like, damn, this is gay. People said this shit was the bomb, but it's
See, you could compare the distortion world in Platinum to the SSN in the original games.
yeah, because like
SSN?
yeah, it's like the ship that you go on and
So
The ghost ship?
this is kind of a spoiler, I guess.
It's a
No,
You
really.
could permanently brick yourself in that game once, and you had to put in a considerable amount of time to get to this point in the game. You had to at least get through the first gym leader, then you had to go through this like tunnel through with a bunch of trainers in the dark, which is kind of fucking annoying when you don't know the map because you're just walking, running
could
into
just get
shit, fighting
Flash.
Zubats all the time. No, I'm talking to get to Misty's.
yeah, you could
You don't get Flash until after that, and
Oh.
that takes you to the one after. But anyways, so you have to get through that tunnel full of a bunch of annoying ass trainers. You have to beat Misty. You have to. Then there's two options. You could either just go down to get the Thunder Badge, which if you do, there's the SSN, and you could be like, oh sweet, I'm aboard the SSN.
You hear that loud beep too.
But if you join the SSN and then get off the SSN before talking to the captain of the ship, you do not get the HM cut, and you cannot progress in the game. The ship sails away,
Oh,
and
damn.
you're just done. You're stuck. It pissed me off so much because I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to fight Gary here because I've watched a walkthrough. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to fight Gary. Let me go heal my Pokemon real quick. Nope.
Bro. That's kind of a fucking problem.
Just like in Red and Blue, I think it might have been both, but the wrap or bind, the move that attacks every turn, but like
Bind.
prevents you from attacking.
Wait, no, it's not bind.
But it affects ghost Pokemon, but not dealing damage. But it says like it'll say like Ekans used or Ekans attacked missed or something like that. I was looking at like someone's I think it was Madry Bread on YouTube did a like Ghastly only through Pokemon Red. And I've been watching those a lot lately or listening to them in the background where they're like, hey, is it possible to be Pokemon Crystal with the Shuckle? Or is it possible to be Pokemon Crystal only using baby form of Pokemon? And like all of
course
them
it is.
it is possible for like all of these because usually they could either like the main
You can
part
just grind to
of
level 100 and then there's nothing.
well, like a lot of people don't do that until like Elite 4. And like a lot of them have different things like, you can have a dedicated HM slave, but they can't be used in battle. You can't use items during battles, like things to make it like a little bit more challenging.
Sure.
And I'm just like, there's one guy that I don't like. I don't know the name of his videos, but or the name of his channel, but all of his videos end up with him just like, oh, I'm gonna use up all of my PP and just struggle. Ha.
And yeah, sure, go deeper, but there's nothing.
I've never gotten to that point with a Pokemon.
Well, like, and
Yeah,
because
many
he's
times.
and I like find
Really?
it very aggravating that he like can't think of any other workaround, because like there's so many other people that come up with creative ways to do something, or they like do proper research and setup, like they'll EV train the fuck out of it. Like I don't know, I kind of want to do some kind of challenge through like have my main Switch profile as for like Sword and Shield, and then have like my secondary account do some kind of challenge on
Can you
there.
have multiple save files now?
Well,
No.
you can have multiple different profiles, and
Yeah.
each profile can have a save
Yeah.
file on it.
Ah,
Yeah. So like it's really dope. One thing I wish that you could do is trade between those profiles, because I would just be like, all 3 stars are at the beginning. Fuck you guys.
It also would be nice if you could like sync up your save data. So say like I was using my Switch with my profile,
You can.
and then
They have like a cloud save system now.
they finally got that up and running. I was
I
gonna say,
believe
could
so.
I like go on your profile with your copy of Legend of Zelda, and then go on my profile though
Yeah, I think so.
on your Switch?
I believe so. Yeah.
That is awesome.
I'm not sure. I believe once we're done with this, I'll check. I'll like double check, or someone could
about hour 45. Maybe talk for like
About
10, 15
10
minutes.
minutes for our
boom boom
Departure upstairs.
Yeah.
boom.
Are we doing the
Clap.
fucking... I really want to do Castlevania 4. But if we have to do shit, that's fine too.
What?
We were talking about doing gaming shit.
No, I was just gonna run upstairs and check
Oh,
if
that too.
if
What
I'm
kind of
not.
gaming shit?
Like, we smoke weed and play video games. So, like, gaming.
Are we gonna
rooms.
like record it at all,
Yeah.
or
That's what I was talking about
we
earlier.
could just like
Is Jacobus the
We
one
I
that's
have
gonna
the
take me to
game
go get
capture.
the pizzas?
He could do that.
Okay,
I'm sure he would.
I'm
Jacob
fucking,
is a slave person.
I am
what time is he planning on leaving?
fucked.
Whenever the fuck I live, probably. He's driving home, too. And then I'll just drive home on the back roads.
My ears are really sweaty.
You okay?
Yeah, I just noticed that my
Oh.
ear was really fucking sweaty. It is aggravating me. So I'm just
Oh,
gonna.
those headphones are getting bleached.
Huh?
Yeah. My headphones are so gross. Like, I'll like leave them on a piece of paper and I'll come
Yeah.
back and there'll be like grease rings on the paper and I'm like, that's my face hair, my face grease.
Like I usually like at the end of every night, or like after a couple days, I'll take like a Clorox wipe to them and
Yeah.
like wipe them, because I sweat a lot. Or at least my face does.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially like underneath my hair area.
Hair, yeah. Oh, fucking back to Gen 4. What were your guys' favorite Pokemon from that generation?
Boof.
Bidoof.
Fuck, that would have been a good name.
Boof.
Fucking hate
I
video.
really liked Luxray's line.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I also like Garchomp and
Garchomp's dope.
Magnezone and Electivire.
Or no,
Electivire is
Electabuzz.
cool as shit.
Wait, no. Yeah, you're right. Electivire is the one they added for Sinnoh.
Yeah. I also
Starter.
liked how they gave more evolutions. I really hate
Those were
that.
cool.
I really hate that Jinx didn't get one, because like I always thought of Jinx,
Jinx is such
Magmar,
an ugly Pokemon.
Jinx, Magmar, and Electabuzz being like a
Trio.
yeah, because like they're basically the bird trio, just not
Ice.
legendaries.
And
Ice,
shitty.
fire, and electric. I always thought that was like,
Oh wow. Yeah, I never thought of it like that.
well, like, and
They have those with just regular Pokemon sometimes.
and I'm just like, well, and they're I believe they were also like in the Pokédex all by each other. So yeah,
If we wanted to get like deep down to the rabbit hole, there's a lot of like online like conspiracy theories and shit about like Pokemon is satanic purely based on the fact of how much the reoccurrence of the number 3 appears, which the number 3 is supposed to be in mocking of the Holy Trinity.
Because the idea is that there's like 3
Everything in
starters.
those games comes in 3s.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Even up until recently, their games even came out in 3s. There's always 3 starter Pokemon, 3 legendaries.
Yeah,
it-
but I think that sounds
They
fun
shifted that a
still.
lot later, but in the beginning, a lot of it was heavily based around 3s.
Well,
You always had 3 trainers. Well, you had 2 trainers, gym leader.
I really think it just comes from like rock, paper, scissors, though.
Yeah. Like,
Because that's what like grass, fire, and
I
water
think
are.
people just try to read into too many things.
Yeah, but
Favorite
then again, you
starter?
can read some of the Pokédex entries and things got weird. Even back before, like you got into like Driftbloom, just stealing kids.
Just stealing fucking
What?
babies. Yeah,
I
Drift
fucked up a Briffloom today. It's an awesome Pokemon.
Yeah.
Look
it
at
is.
its Pokedex entry.
Yeah,
It literally says
it's-
it's known to just take kids and drift off with them.
like-
It's just like
come
what
here.
up, kid? And
It's
then
like,
floats
hey,
away
child,
with them.
let's just take you off over here.
Dude.
Yeah, no, it steals kids. But back in Gen 1, you had to deal with the first experience of dealing with death. You have to deal with Lavender Town. Fucking sick
Hey.
music. Yeah, Gary heavily implies that back in the aforementioned SS Anne ship, Gary heavily implies that when you beat him in that battle, that you kicked his Raticate's ass so bad it dies. Because he's like, I had to come here to pay respects. And then when you fight him afterwards, he doesn't have Raticate anymore.
Fuck.
Because it's fucking
There's
garbage.
that fucking guy visiting his Pokemon's grave in Diamond, but it's not really a scary thing. It's just the only like, do Pokemon fucking die? It was like an
Yeah.
Onyx
Yeah,
or some
then
shit.
there's that's probably
Well, I
the
guess there's
darkest
the
a
graveyards
Pokemon
and yeah.
game got back
time.
then was it was just like, yeah, Team Rocket just straight up murked this Marowak.
Bro,
And
do
they're
you know
holding
the
an old
fucking-
man at hostage at gunpoint. And you, those games were so great.
Do you know there's an event in Platinum. You guys know the Pokemon Rotom?
Yeah.
So in Platinum, there's the event where you like unlock the secret room in the old chateau, and it has like the lawnmower and shit, and he can
Yeah.
possess different objects and become a different version.
Yeah.
And each version learns like a fucking badass move from that
Yeah.
type. So it's like Hydro. God, Hydro Pump is god tier.
It is.
If you don't fuck with Hydro Pump, I don't fuck with you.
My favorite thing to do in Alpha Sapphire is Mega Evolve Swampert, who I've poured in a lot of stats just for fucking special attack. I don't know why. Like, all of his EVs are just that. And he starts off with the nature that boosts that and lowers defense, I want to say.
Have I ever told you the tale of the Cyndaquil I had all the way from my first copy of Silver all the way until X and Y?
Was it a Typhlosion at that point?
Yes, very much. It was a level 100. So there was the event you could do with Pokemon Silver, which you could transfer your Pokemon. It was like a time machine thing. So you could transfer your Pokemon on up to Gen 3. So I transferred that Typhlosion. It was like level 46 when I did that. Then it was in the Hoenn region with me all the way until I beat the shit out of that game. And then from there, I migrated up to Pokemon Platinum. It helped me destroy the ever-living shit out of the rest of that game. And then it was like God tier in my party when I had X and Y. And then I never found that copy of the game again. And I wanted to die.
That's a fucking bummer. My first copy of Diamond had my level 97 Staraptor. It was a female, and I named it Flutter with all caps because I was a retarded child. And so every time I play Pokemon, I catch the first bird Pokemon I find, make sure it's a female, name it Flutter, all caps, in respect of that Pokemon.
I always catch a Pikachu and I call it Sparks, but with a X instead of like KS.
That's badass.
That's female. And the main reason why I have like that fucking my DS right now just doing the run around that circle thing is because this fucking Pikachu that I have, I'm trying to like beat the Elite Four, or not the Elite Four. I'm trying to beat one of the top tier trainers, but I've already transferred like all of my good Pokemon up to Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon through the Pokemon transfer thing, and I'm just like, bro, I literally have no good Pokemon. I have 2 Thunderstones and a light ball, and I'm like, I could keep the light ball because that makes Pikachu like a little better, but I'm not sure if evolving him into Raichu would make him better.
What's the benefit of evolving him into Raichu?
A light ball.
No, like just the Thunderstone.
Thunderstone evolves him into Raichu, and he gets that. Yeah, but light ball basically like I'm not sure if it makes Pikachu's stats, I think, for attack and special attack go up, but I'm not sure by how much. It's supposed to be like the Pikachu in the original Yellow is basically holding a light ball, which makes it. That's why it's so good. Like when you transfer it from that game to like Gold and Silver, and Crystal, it's holding a light ball because like Gen 1 Pokemon could hold items.
Can they all?
No, like they hold invisible items. Like
Gen 1, there is no, like, you can't give an item to a Pokemon. Yeah. It's just when it transfers over, there's a certain, there's a code attached to that Pokemon, and the 6th digit in is what, like, determined what item it carried. If there was an even number, you had a 1 in 100th chance of getting an item that boosted the attack. Then if it was an odd number, you had a 1 in 300 chance in getting something that boosted defense. And if it was a 0, then it was just a random.
But there was specific Pokemon that had specific items, like Pikachu. That specific Pikachu had a light ball.
Interesting. And that boosts attack?
And special attack.
Neat.
Kearney asked me this question earlier. I was not able to explain it super greatly. So what is the benefit of not evolving your Pokemon?
Versus just evolving them. Like, what do either of those accomplish?
I believe there's certain moves. Some
Pokemon have moves that they can or cannot learn if they evolve. That much I know, but there has to be like more to it than that, right?
I'm not ever like I've played them all since the original. I'm not ever, besides them not like potentially not being able to learn certain moves. I think that's like the only thing. I know there's stat boost, like when you evolve Pokemon.
Yeah.
But like,
is it better to evolve them later to get the stat boost?
Yeah. Well, like, yes, I believe. Like, I always evolve my Pokemon a couple levels afterwards, unless, like, there's certain Pokemon like that won't learn a move. Like, I can't think of anyone specific, but I believe there's Pokemon that, like, you have to evolve them by a certain point because then they won't learn a move.
Charizard in level 48.
You have to have a Charizard by level 48.
Yeah, if he doesn't evolve before level 48, he won't learn Flamethrower.
Really?
Or Flame Wheel, my bad, Flame Wheel. In the original games, anyways, I don't know where.
I just know
Lampent in Gen 5, you had to get it to like level 64 to learn its final move before evolving into Chandelure.
One that's really annoying is trying to deal with Umbreon and Espeon and getting them to learn.
Yeah, their special move by 15. Like, all the EVs learn their evolutions, learn their first move that is a stab.
A stab?
Yeah, same type attack bonus. Like when a Pokemon that has that's electric uses
Pikachu uses Thundershock.
Yeah, it gets
that does more damage than if Furret used Thundershock.
Yeah,
because it's not electric.
Yeah.
So
I had a Furret that could use Thunder. Sorry.
Yeah. And Oris, I went through most of the gyms. I got the ideal from him with Linoons, and I picked up so many fucking rare candies and shit.
You can just boost your way through that game, dude.
Yeah, after I think it's 41. You after each one of them, which in Oris is really easy because they have a EXP share all. so everyone gets one.
How far did you get just using those line-ins? Because I beat the game.
Well, I had two dedicated.
Are you saying you pick up rare candies when you use them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Also talking
line-ins and
about-
zigzagoons.
They have you know how Pokemon can have like from Gen 3 onwards could have like an ability.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one that's pickup.
Yeah, line-ins is just pickup.
Which
Find
will,
items.
yeah, like every couple battles, it'll pick up an item.
And if it's like a berry or something, it'll use it in battle to like.
but you
itself.
could like what I would do usually is fight 6 in Oris in Alpha Sapphire. I had a Combi that I transferred from Black 2 up.
Candy's dope.
Because it had the honey gatherer, which is basically pick up, but it only picks up honey. And I would use the honey to, I would either use honey or sweet scent to do horde battles, which is like a thing exclusive to X, Y, and Oris, which you fought like 5 Pokemon at a time. And I would
sucks
just go through them, and I would have like my leading Linoon just have surf, and it would like fuck up everyone. And it's also like doing horde battles is one of the easier ways of doing shiny hunting, even though I only found one fucking shiny doing that, and it was Oddish, and I was like, fuck you, Oddish. Which I ended up accidentally wondering, because I caught a bunch of Oddish just doing that.
Sure.
And I was like, oh, one day, and I would like name them all weed. Like, ha, ha, ha. And mind you, this wasn't years ago when it first came out. It was literally like 2 weeks ago. And I was just trading all of them. And in the, I was just looking at the Sprite versions, not the top screen. And I'm just like, trading all of them like left to right. And I traded my shiny for, I can't even remember what. But someone sent me a shiny Froakie, so whoever that was, thank you. I now have a shiny Greninja. I'm like, yeah. And they didn't name him something stupid, so I'm like, that's cool, because usually I would get something like Dick, but they would use the exclamation point as the I, so they could get around Pokemon's like, hey, that's an offensive word. You can't use that.
So, what were you guys' first naturally encountered shiny?
Red Gyarados. I never fucking found one.
Yeah.
Oh, so you've never had a naturally occurring one?
No.
First one, Pokemon X, Lombre. I was like,
Like the duck guy with the sombrero?
yeah.
Is that the second one?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I evolved him into Ludicolo.
My first ever shiny one was a Linoon and the original Ruby. And I wish I still had that shit, because I would have transferred that all the way the fuck up to and like I wish I would have had it, because I would like change its I would change its name in Ruby before I transfer it up to like something like I don't know, something that like meant to pick up something.
It still hurts me every time Paul has told me about his sister starting the game, starting up a copy of
bro.
Sapphire, picking Mudkip as a starter, and then instantly restarting the game because the Mudkip was the wrong color.
In those games, the Poochyena that you fight at the beginning, like that you can't catch, there's the same rate of it being a shiny as like any other Pokemon. Like the one that you fight in the very first battle that you don't even have a Pokeball. Like there's a chance that that could be shiny.
Could trainers have shiny Pokemon?
No, I don't believe so.
No. And they also
I mean,
started
there
they
might
started
be-
shiny locking the
Starters?
the legendaries, because
Oh.
people to discourage soft resetting, because it could like damage the battery and stuff.
Just like
People
turning
still-
off the power?
Yeah.
Done that many times.
No, like soft resetting could be done in the game. Like you press LR, and I think start and select, like move your thumb
And
up.
it just like pretty much crashes the game and reboots it.
Really?
Well, now it's like a built-in feature.
Yeah.
Like you could do that like in the game, so it's like completely safe. Like I've tried to
That just takes you back to your last save.
Yeah. Like it takes you back to the title screen and then all that jazz, which I remember in the virtual console thing trying to get a shiny Suicune of Crystal. And I'm just like, bro, the fuck? I've literally soft resetted 100 times. Fuck this game.
Was that in the original, not in the virtual console?
No,
version?
it was the virtual console.
Yeah.
Like,
But, like, could you do that in the original?
I'm not sure if it was possible in the original Game Boy. I know it was possible in the Ruby and Sapphire to soft reset. I'm not sure if it was Crystal, Gold, and all that. But I just hate the fact that I never got a shiny Suicune
Damn.
because it looks so beautiful. Not much changes. I think its main thing turns blue instead of. Let me like that.
Hey.
He shared that 11 minutes ago.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I did.
Dude, I had to fucking restart this copy of Diamond like 8 times because the first time I got like an hour in, tried to save, and it was like, you can't save over an existing game file. And I was
Yeah,
like,
because you have
fucking
to.
what?
That's one thing I fucking hate.
Like, I absolutely. It's probably good they put that in because your fucking cousin would delete your game. But
Yeah, I could see like this dumb fucker like doing that as a kid, or
it
like
doesn't even tell you how to delete it, which is another precaution.
Yeah, I had to look it up online.
yeah,
It's just like
well, like it told you how to do it in the original manuals, because like I remember playing Pearl. I think I had Pearl. Yeah, I had Pearl. Was my first Gen 4 game, and I just remember like looking in the manual because I'm like, how the fuck do I? Because I didn't like. I first chose Piplup, and I was like, no, I fucking hate this. And then I went with
Piplup's
Turtwig.
awesome.
I like
Turtwig's
Pip-
my starter, but I like Piplup.
I like the
Chimchar
only
is
starter
not
out
bad.
of all of the
Because I was-
gens that I don't like is Poplio because
Poplio?
yeah, it's the fucking seal fucking thing. It's a seal.
What generation?
7.
Oh.
Because it starts off. It could be male or female, but its final evolution is just very feminine. Like it's like a mermaid looking thing. I'll show you right now. It's, and a lot of people because it got leaked ahead of time, a lot of people thought it was going to be Gen 7 was going to be the first one where the starters had
Could be female.
divergent evolution lines because
Ooh.
which would have been really dope because they had like the leak showed Incineroar, Prism, blah blah, and Decidueye. I can't even pronounce Poplio's evolution, but they leaked, and then like a lot of people are like, "Yeah, this is the real deal," not knowing that it was the real deal. A lot of people were very skeptical because they were like, "That's very feminine." They want to just do a specific like that thing because every other starter up until that point it could have been like, "Oh, that's male or that's female."
Dude, I love the Divergent. I was just thinking about like I just remembered that Poliwhirl's a Pokemon, and all their designs are fucking dope.
Yeah.
And eventually, because it can go from Poliwrath or Polyfrog,
Polytoad.
Polytoad. Yeah, which looks
Just
like
like
super out of place, but it's awesome.
Yeah, just like Slow King and Slow Bro are divergent, and I really love Slow King, even though he kind of sucks ass. I like Gallade and
Yeah. Gardevoir is like a great design, but Gallade is fucking.
and
fucking-
both
We're
of
gonna,
the- both
we're gonna
of the-
stay away
If I had
from
to sleep with a
Gardevoir.
Pokemon, I'd be Gardevoir.
God damn it.
Sexy Pokemon tier list.
Fuck, no. This is what I wanted to avoid. No.
Like as soon as I said Gardevoir, I'm like,
I'd bang Dragonite.
You fucked up, kid.
Do not ever say you would bang my favorite Pokemon.
Dragonite's awesome.
Dude.
I would bang Magikarp.
This,
It would give you just the most like dead fish blowjob of your entire life. Just,
Hey,
Magikarp.
what that mouth do?
Hi, Mom.
Magikarp. Use Splash.
Magikarp.
Use Flail.
Super effective. Oh, man.
Oh, that's another one of the challenges that people are doing was Magikarp. But that ended up just being another thing that they struggle through because Magikarp can't learn any attack that attacks Ghost. So they would have to use Struggle, which attacks anything no matter what their type is.
I always thought it was amazing in the original in red and blue. When I was playing through my first copy of Yellow, actually. And this guy's just like, oh, I've got this super incredibly rare Pokemon. You should buy it for 500 yen. And I was like,
fuck.
hell yeah, I'm buying this shit. And then it was a Magikarp. But I persisted with that son of a bitch. I trained him, and then he learned Tackle at level 15. 10 painstaking ass levels later, he learns Tackle. And does it do damage? No, it doesn't do shit. Nothing. And so I was like, all right, I'm ready to give up on this fucking Pokemon. He's useless. But then I was like, just get him level 20. And then he turns into a badass motherfucker.
You know when
He learns Thrash.
Sun and Moon.
Nice.
Sun and Moon,
Good
it's
player.
possible to catch like a level 10 Salamence and Gyarados and all that shit.
Really?
Yeah, because there's a mechanic called SOS where they will call like another Pokemon.
But
And
they're weak.
yeah, like Magikarp has a chance to summon Gyarados. And I remember catching a level 10 Gyarados and a level, I can't remember what the Salamence was, but they were both really low level and just going through most of the beginning of those games just with those. But before I swapped them out for cooler Pokemon. I mean, like they were cool, but they level up so slow because they're like,
Imagine you're about to whip a Magikarp's ass using a grass type Pokemon, and then it just calls a Gyarados out of nowhere. It uses a flying type attack, and just fucks you up.
It took me so long to realize Gyarados was water and flying, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Flying? I thought it was
His-
like dragon or
His
some
Mega
shit.
Evolution is Dragon, but just
Yeah.
regular he's not.
That's so weird. I've never seen a Gyarados fly. Did they ever do that
I
in
guess
the
he's
anime?
supposed to be like a Chinese.
I could see
it's supposed
it.
to be based off of like that, like
Chinese serpent shit.
yeah, like the I think it's supposed to be based off of like the one thing that they like people get in and they're like blah 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 blah. I'm not sure, but
That's what you were trying to say here.
Like
Neither am I.
during the like Chinese celebrations and everything, they just
Oh,
give
the
him
fucking dragon parade
yeah,
costume?
Yeah.
I think it's
I
supposed to
could
be
see that.
based off of that. I'm not sure, and I'm pretty
or like
sure
the dragon in
if-
Breath of the Wild that just flies through the air every once in a while. He's like,
There's three, and one of them is corrupted by like Ganon's blight. Dude, fucking Breath of the Wild 2. Oh my god, I cannot wait for that shit.
No
Fuck.
Breath of the Wild spoilers. I haven't played it. Almost done with Twilight Princess.
Link dies.
I really wanna.
Ganon's actually good. Link's just a big dickhole this whole time.
Fake news alert. Fake news alert.
I really want them to release Twilight HD, Wind Waker HD, and fucking Skyward Sword HD all on the fucking Switch. On the Switch. On the Switch. Because like I don't want to go out and have to buy a fucking Wii U to play
No,
these
you
games.
shouldn't. It's useless.
And then as soon as you do, it gets ported
Especially
over.
since like I thought about getting it for like a bunch of other games. A bunch of other games, but they've already like confirmed it. Like the only games I'm waiting on now are Xenoblade X and the Zelda games. And like my friend, he's like swears by it. Skyward Sword is like one of the best Zelda games.
The controls in that game are fucking fantastic. It has the best combat out of any of them I've
fucking
played.
And like
Don't care.
he says
Don't
that
care.
like out of all the Zelda games that he's played, like has the best music, you know.
Music's incredible.
And
Visuals are incredible.
And I'm just like, bro, I want to play this game, but I don't have a Wii or a Wii
Wait,
U. And
Twilight
plus-
Princess?
No,
Skyward
I've I played I haven't beaten Twilight
you can get a
Princess.
Wii for like $2 nowadays.
I know, but like, as soon as I feel like as soon as I get that and get the games, which are going to be more expensive, they're going to be like, Zelda, all of them are coming to the Switch right now, bitch. Fuck you, David. I was about to say my last name. My last name is Johnson. Long Johnson.
I don't know how they would do because Switch doesn't have motion controls. So
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Really?
Yeah, those the
The
Joy-Cons
Joy-Cons have even the fucking Pro Controller itself has like a built-in thing, which I found out one of my Pro Controllers upstairs has really fucked up the gyroscope in it is really fucked up through one of the Breath of the Wild puzzles because I had it flat and it was just like like moving and I'm like. Yeah, fuck this puzzle. So what I end up doing is launching myself in the fucking maze.
Dude,
I love fucking Breath of the Wild's like shrine systems because there's so many ways to tackle it.
I love
the
the environment of the map just in general. Like if you see a point on the map, you can get to it. You may have to do some fuckery ass shit. Like I've seen people just fucking like making sure they get shot by like this giant laser. Then after they're launched in the air, dropping a bomb, exploding themselves at the right time so they get hit by the other laser, which launches them across the map, at which point they get a raft that they set up with balloons that'll lift them to another level, which there they can detonate themselves into another laser beam, which shoots them like 30 more feet up in the air, which causes a boulder to roll down the hill and knock out that one enemy so the other enemy can get you. He knocks you another way. I've seen
That
some
game
like
looks fantastic.
intricate
Dude,
ass
it's
shit
so
to get
fun.
some sketchy stuff done, but they do it.
I beat the master mode of it the other day. I like, and I have the DLC, and I've gotten all of the DLC armor, and I just haven't like. I don't feel like it's necessary. Like once you beat the game to go.
Transactions.
No,
Okay.
it's just like basic DLC. Like they have a
Okay.
season pass, which I suggest. Like, if you're gonna get the game, get that. So that way you could get like the Trial of the Sword, which is like you power up the sword, Master Sword to its like full potential or whatever. And then there's like the Champion's Ballad, which I didn't go through that because like by the time you already get to the point where you could unlock that DLC, like you already have beaten all four of the beast, and there's not much more you could do. Like you could fight Ganon, or you could go through this DLC, which the beginning part is a pain in the ass for reasons. I won't say because you haven't played it yet, but yeah, I tried doing that, and then I was like, nah, fuck this shit. I'm gonna go fuck Ganon right in the ass, and then I did. Like I thought on master mode, like fighting him and everything was gonna be so hard. Fucking wasn't. Like on the like regular version, I had way more of a hard time. Maybe probably because I knew what I was doing, but I had less hearts in master mode. I just noticed what Larry is doing, and wow, I had way harder of a time fighting Ganon on the regular mode than master mode, but I also knew what I was doing. So that might have been a thing, but I also had less hearts.
Fair.
I was also like shield deflecting like a fucking boss, like which I could never do up until that point. I was like, oh fuck, and I was like, oh fuck, deflect your laser, bitch, and then I was like dabbing on him.
That whole game changed when I realized I was a moron and did not read the text, so I did not properly learn how to fight. Because as soon as I learned that there was an ability to parry attacks and like
or do the
Fury
yeah.
strike thing. So one of the mechanics in the game, this isn't really spoiling anything, they had it in the trailers, is if you perfectly parry an attack, you can come back and just get in like 20 hits in before they can even like get a chance to defend themselves.
Or if you perfectly dodge it, or you know how the Guardians shoot lasers.
Vaguely. You can bounce them back with
Yeah,
your
you
shield.
could bounce them back, and
Nice.
It was just so nice when you'd have this giant person who's absolutely wrecking your ass, but then you like get this one attack on him and you're like, stab. You're basically just shanking him over and over again. It was so satisfying.
Nice.
It also made the game 100% easier instead of taking someone with about 3,000 hit points and knocking them down 2 hit points every 30 minutes. And then just being like, well, that was a good 4 hours of the game. Pause. I'll come back to this tomorrow. Unpause. All right, good thing we got another 6 hours in. We've only got 5 more days of this to go.
My water.
Fuck. Probably. And that might be Jake's. He brings a lot of water bottles with him.
Niagara.
You guys want to wrap this shit up?
It's
All right. On the count of 3, we're all just going to say dick and leave. 1, 2, 3.
Dick. Thanks for listening.